I know we're still getting people in there, but I mean, it's already 5 o'clock, so I guess we can start talking about the important stuff. Like, we can segue into merch, and versus what other avenues that we're gonna focus on. I know that we've talked about, the 3D stuff. We talked about cartoon stuff. We talked about the video game. But given the situation with sales, Soul being down, the market in general being down, it's out of our control. These aren't things that if that's something that is our fault. It's just the way the market goes. And I think when the last few times that we have talked this week, as far as like the three of us, our meetings, we're trying to figure out ways of making things realistic, like realistic goals. And I think right now, what I've been focusing on, what I've been sharing with Tyler and Brian, has been the merch. I'm super excited to show off like more new graphics, new items, and the team seems pretty excited about it. I know Brian's super pumped about it, and he has ideas as well. So I think just to let the community know that what we're focusing on right now, aside from what Tyler's doing in the background, all the hard coding work that goes into staking and stuff, but I think I just wanted to mention the merch. The merch I think is going to come along pretty cool. I think what we're doing as far as designing it, it's gonna be one of like the dopest merch, like the dopest merch that anybody has in the NFT game right now. I feel like merch is lacking in NFT world. There's probably some that has some dope stuff, but I think for us, I think ours is gonna be what we set out to do, which is like, our target audience was skateboarders, graffiti artists, like urban stuff, like real life human beings that you come in day-to-day contact with. It's not like, we're not just expanding on the metaverse, I guess you would say, but we're doing stuff that's real life tangible product. And essentially this is a brand. NFT, like calling the NFT the token and stuff like that's just it's just like a it's just like a ticket to a special community. Like, I think it might not translate what we're trying to do right now as far as what our floor price looks like, or how much what our sales look like, our 24-hour stuff. Like, that's fine. Like, that's not something that's discouraging us, because we're still working on making this brand as big as possible. So I just want the community to know, because I know we've probably been MIA for the most part. At least me and Brian. I know Tyler does a really good job. You know, jumping into the Discord every now and then, or pretty much every day. But I just wanted to let everybody know that we're expanding on this brand, and we're gonna make it a legitimate brand, not just an NFT community, not just metaverse stuff. We're doing everything in the real world, real merch. We have a lot of stuff that I'm excited to talk about, but I want to make it real first, because I know it's happening and I want to feel it, and I want to make sure it's ready for unveiling. But I'm super excited about a lot of stuff that we have going on in the background.
Yeah, and I want to be able to provide like a little bit of transparency as to some of the stuff that we're doing, like why it's taking a couple weeks to, like, some of the stuff we were able to do quickly and have really fast turnaround times, but some of these big brand partnerships take a little bit of time, because we're like courting these companies that, they don't just take any brand and work with them. So, it's huge that we got a few big milestones that a lot of people probably didn't realize we passed. Like, all of our social media stuff's up over 1,000 followers now. We were able to resubmit for a blue check on Instagram and Twitter. That'll add a little bit of legitimacy, and it also, helped us make a case to some of these brands. So I want to speak to that, but I also want to maybe even do things a little differently and earlier on in the space, invite more people to ask questions. So if
Yeah,
anybody, yeah.
I invited Chip up. I know he has to get going. He's working some of the NCAA games.
Oh, perfect.
He joined last week, and we didn't get a chance to get to him, so I wanted to give him a little bit of time up front here before he has to jet.
Yeah, let's give
Um,
him the floor.
Hey,
sure.
what's up, everybody? How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, buddy.
Good, good man.
Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm actually at work and I'm supposed to be in there right now, but I got somebody sitting in for me. Last week, I have to work Tuesday nights for about 2 or 3 more weeks, but after that, then definitely I'll be free for the whole thing. Last week, I just wanted to say what's up. That's all. I just wanted to pop in. I know we were talking about scams a little bit, and I just kind of want to weigh in on some of my experiences because I feel like experiences are very valuable in everything because if we can share our experiences, then we can learn from each other. We don't all have to cross the same bridge. And so tonight, what I wanted to share was, y'all know I have my own project and I'm big on the whole sports thing and whatnot. And so what I wanted to do is I also want to sponsor the March Madness bracket challenge that we have going on in Bobby Rabbits. I want to sponsor that with half a soul. So I'll send over when I get home this evening. Just let me know where to send it, and I'll send over that half a soul. And you can kind of distribute that however you want to in the rankings or whatever. Like I know first place right now is getting half a soul. If you want to just throw it all on there, or however you want to do it, I just want to sponsor that. Definitely because I think that's it's important to have each other's backs in this mission, and if we're a part of each community we're a part of, we have to contribute to it. And so I'm definitely here for the long haul. I have 3 rabbits, thinking about getting a fourth one. Just waiting for the right one to hit the right price and stuff like that. I'm real picky now that I have some. The next one I get has to be that one that speaks to me. And then one more thing before I go too, I also wanted to say for the project, I think a really good idea with the whole skater vibe we have going. And I think when I remember being younger, I used to see stickers all the time that people would put. I live in Atlanta, so you see stickers in city areas. People just put stickers on the subway or the gate or the post or we got Georgia State here and Georgia Tech. So I think that if we came out with some dope ass stickers that people could get, however, whether we send them to people or give them the template and they get them printed themselves, if we can just start blasting stickers everywhere, then people will be like, damn, what's this Bobby Rabbits? Especially if the stickers have like our the Twitter page and shit like that. I think that'd be something cheap and effective to get some marketing going. And that's all I got for y'all tonight. Love y'all.
Hey, Chip, that's
Absolutely. Do you
awesome.
do you have a few minutes to just say a few words about your project? Just let people know what you're doing.
I'm really still finding myself, man, because
Sure.
the NFT space is real. But here's where I'm at right now. I am all about community. I want my community. I'm trying to educate, learn from others. So that's a really big part of it. I am trying to find a way to monetize Web 3.0 because that's what it offers is us being able to generate revenue. And so the way I thought to do that was at first I was thinking casino because I used to go to casino. I used to go to Vegas like all the time. I lived in LA and I would go on like these overnight missions and not sleep and stuff. And I was always like, damn, how come somebody like me couldn't own a casino? And so when I first started looking at NFTs, I thought, and that was the route to go. But that's just so it requires, number one, it's a saturated market. Number two, it requires like some technology that's beyond me. And then people have to really trust in the technology with these the coin flips and stuff. Is it rigged and stuff? So I was like, well, what can I do? So I came up with this idea to use dice because those are the random, that's what's 100% random. And so that's what my project is all about. We play dice games and we do a little bit of sports book betting, but that's pretty much it right now.
Cool, man. Thanks for sharing and thanks for the ideas. Um, Everybody here, if you're in our Discord, you can find Chip in there and find his project linked in. I think it's in there still. If not, he'll throw up a new link for you guys.
Yeah, and don't hesitate if anybody, however I can help this project or anybody else, that's what I'm here about. It's all about community and helping each other, and that's why I love this project so much because Brian, I reached out to him in a day and age where everybody was scamming everybody. I reached out to him, and he's a 100% genuine guy. He met me face to face, and I know we got this whole docs thing. I know this guy. I can put a face to
Mm.
him. He's just a genuine guy, and so that's what really draws me to this project, and why I will be here for the long haul. And I think everyone should. And that's what, if we just stick with the organic stuff, man, That's what's really going to happen. If you look at some of these blue chips, they've been around since like last year and things like that. If we just stick around and keep doing what we're doing, you keep on marketing to some of these, whoever you're marketing to, it's gonna click, man. I believe in you 100%.
Totally agree. Yeah, I'm taking notes on all this too. So like we can put to a vote in the holder chat to use some of the project funds for the sticker thing. So we'll put that to a vote in the Discord after this. And Chip,
Actually,
yeah.
that sticker thing is really really smart. I remember back in the day, like there were things called street teams, and I remember doing this for myself. I tried to do my own like t-shirt company back in the day, and like I did try doing everything on myself, and I didn't have really like much of a business mentality. But I remember like putting out a simple message on Instagram a long time ago about people, if you're interested in being on a street team, and this is just by myself, and I got so many people responding to it, and I literally just sent them free t-shirts that I had screen printed, stickers, and stuff like that. Like it's super 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 cheap. It costs like dollars. And I think that's something that those are such good ideas that we tend to forget that are still at our disposal. Like I think we noticed that there's a trend in NFT spaces where like it almost seems like there has to be a standard way of doing things, but we do forget that we can go back to our roots and utilize those things that we used to do, and they're not out of style. Like you said, like the sticker thing is so simple yet it's so easily overlooked. Like I really really like that idea. It's a really good idea.
For sure. And
Thanks,
I can,
appreciate you.
yeah, I can DM you after Chip. But maybe we could even run that donation for March Madness through Magic Eden because you said you wanted another rabbit. So, I don't know. We'll figure something out. I don't want to it won't mess with the floor price, but like I could list one from the treasury for one soul and coordinate it with you, and you could put in a bid for like half a soul, and that way we could run it through, raise some royalties, and also help fund the March Madness or something like that.
Hey, whatever's clever, brother. Whatever's clever, I'm down. Just let me know. I'm about to jump back in here. Don't hesitate to, sometimes I'm slow to respond, but if you at me or DM me, I'll get back to you.
Perfect.
Peace.
Thank you. So
Yeah, thanks, man.
yeah, so that's awesome. If anybody else wants to chime in or has questions like throughout the thing, feel free to use the little heart thing to like raise a hand, and we can call you up to speak. Oh, there you go. Cool. Let's see, driver. Add you. All right. I think you should be able to speak now, driver.
It still says listener. You might have to request it again.
Let me give it a shot.
I'm in.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Hey, sorry about that. I'm just a little busy dealing with the kids today, but I wanted to join this space. With the sticker comment, I was going to mention something to that on this as well. I think it's a great idea. Maybe somehow implementing. I know that you guys had talked before about facial recognition software for the logo, or maybe a QR code so that when you put the stickers out, someone could just take a picture of it, send you right to a link, like to the website or whatever you want to do. I mean, I know I'd plaster them all over the skate parks around here, so for sure.
Absolutely. I think people would just enjoy that aspect of it because it really puts some of that, old school kind of roots mentality into you that go around slapping some stickers around. I'll put them on people's foreheads.
Yeah, also like being born from like street art, like not everybody can sneak out in the middle of the night and put up a masterpiece with spray cans, but with stickers, we looked into it. Putting a sticker up is not illegal versus like painting and vandalizing, so it can kind of help other people encapsulate that vibe.
Yeah, I remember doing that stuff when I used to skate back in the day. I think it's a great like marketing campaign. So if you guys end up doing it, I'm down.
Yeah, I know Bobby was really into the facial recognition software. We even have a QR code for Bobby Rabbits. I had a bunch of those stickers printed, but we could definitely, after the call, put up a vote in like the holders chat where we talk about using some of the project funds, because there's almost $500 in there right now. We could definitely get like a bulk order from Sticker Mule, and ship some out to folks in different places to put them out and kind of just get the brand out more.
That's awesome. Cool. Yeah. Thanks for letting me talk on that.
Yeah, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, so that's good. I like how everybody's like on the same page with that. Just a quick transition, or it's similar, but I was talking to the guys about this earlier. I had gotten a DM on Instagram from one of the community members, and I think this is a dope idea. So it's in the works right now. Like it's literally getting made. And just to share with you guys what the idea is, this is something that I think is going to bring the community together in a fun way. Uh, because so basically, let me just tell you what it is. So it's basically a stuffed animal of one of the rabbits that it's getting made right now, and we are planning to send that around. Like I don't know if you guys are familiar with the way players send around like the Stanley Cup, but basically that's the idea. So I mean, if you want to participate, cool. If you don't, that's okay. I know you don't. If people don't want to share addresses, like Tyler over there is doesn't want to share his address. No, it's fun, but it's fine. But if you guys don't want it, it's cool. If you guys want to, I think it'd be fun. One of the member, I forget, I think it was like his name was Treehouse or something. He's a rabbit holder as well, and he was saying that because he was out snowboarding a few weeks ago, and he was like, I think it would be fun if we just take pictures with this rabbit, snowboarding, having a drink or smoke or whatever, doing fun activities. I think it'd be fun to like share that around, ship it around. It's small enough to cost nothing basically, and just some time. And I think it'd be fun if you guys are interested in it. We could talk about it more in the holders chat, see how we can make it happen, or start sending it around. But as soon as it's done, um, I will post it. I'll post a picture of it and show you guys what it is. I think it's gonna be fun. So let me know what you guys think about that idea too.
Totally, that would be super cool. Little Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants action there. That's an awesome idea, though. I think it'd be really cool to do that. I think there's like a commercial with like that garden gnome that somebody did that with like a garden gnome, took it around the world. There's like pictures of it in all these major cities, so that would be really cool and like kind of a community bonding thing to do. We could
Yeah,
obviously pay for
it's
it with like project funds.
yeah, for sure. Like, there was a project one of my cousins did, and she basically had to send this like I forget the what the project name was. She had to basically send this little guy around, and we shipped it to family members that were like in Texas and New York, and they took pictures with it, and it was fun because it's just easy. It's just fun to do. It kind of brings the community together to have fun with. We could document it. We can even put it. We can even make its own Instagram. It's just. I just feel like we could. There's a lot that we can do that other communities aren't doing because we're not typically like other communities. We don't want to just fall into the same category of what other NFT groups are doing. We want to do what we want to do our way and have fun with it. Include the community because, like for example, that idea is straight from the community's members' thought process. And again, we're gonna do another idea that another member just brought up today. The sticker idea, I think, is a great idea. So yeah, there's a lot of things that we're doing that are straight coming from the community, and I think it's cool.
Totally. Do you guys want me to speak to any of like the brand partnership stuff?
Sure.
So one of the things that I've been doing a couple weeks back, we had a pretty successful joint space with the Days Ducks. And so we are looking at doing that with like Monkey Rejects or another project. But my personal opinion right now is that I think the overall like NFT space is kind of taken nosedive due to geopolitical events, really, like the whole invasion of Ukraine, and then that's caused inflation and, you know, high gas prices. So people don't have as much cash to just like spend indiscriminately, which affects markets like this. So, I mean, coming from a financial background, I've seen this happen before where people are like less willing to take risk on certain types of investments when money is harder to come by. And so it might not be the best idea to partner with another NFT project right now just because they're probably struggling too. And so it's less likely that they're going to throw us some bones. Um, so I think kind of in these situations, we've talked about it before. There will be like cycles in the space. Like the volume on all of Magic Eden is down, and Solana itself is down. So it's not necessarily a bad thing in the short term unless you needed that money now and you're like planning to sell now because you got to pay bills. But obviously, like the people that made this as a long-term investment are on a different page. So we're not concerned with the price going down because it will fluctuate. But this is a good time to look into some other partnerships. You guys probably saw Bobby did the, you know, custom vans. We've been working on some like merch designs, things like that. And so one of our ideas is to kind of partner with another brand that already has a lot of distribution and exposure. Because right now we just need new people to find out about Bobby Rabbits. The people that know of it, like we don't have to convince them. People will buy it when they find it, but we need more people to see it. We need to get the brand out there more. So we've been reaching out. There's a company in Los Angeles called Rose that makes clothes. I can kind of post their link in the Discord later, but they make some really cool like streetwear, you know, like skating type brands, street art type stuff. I think that would be a good fit. So I've been talking with them to see kind of like what they could do with our designs and if they want to do a partnership. If they put us on their website, that's like exposure to another 40,000 people. That's how many followers they have, and they've done really well. I also have reached out some huge brands. There's probably a lower chance of success, but I mean, like I emailed Tilly's the other day, the chain that's in the mall that's kind of like PacSun. It's like skatewear type stuff, and they sent me a specific email for like vendors, and so I reached out to them, like put together a really good email, so I can keep the community posted on any developments with that stuff. But those are things that will take a little bit more time because we would have to kind of negotiate with them and do like a trial run in like a single store or something like that. But those things wouldn't necessarily cost us money because we're just essentially licensing our brand to them for like a split of the profits. And again, we'll feed a portion of those profits back to the holders of the NFTs through Carrot Coins. But that's kind of one of the things that I've been working on that could take a little bit more time. But if it works, and this brand gets put out there in major chains, that would be huge. So I'm not sure if anybody has any like questions, comments, or concerns on that type of strategy. I know we talked about cartoons and gaming and things like that, but this direction didn't cost us anything versus putting together a cartoon and gaming or some bigger projects that would take more money and more time.
Yeah, and I think the idea is not to, minting brought in money to get us started on some of these things, but it didn't bring in the kind of money, especially through secondary yet, that drives some of these bigger project ideas we have. So what we can do now is things like what you said, branding, building our brand awareness, things that raise our profile, don't take a lot of money, but take some energy. And that's where we are right now, is we're putting tons of energy into this project.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that part of the strategy, in my mind at least, is that if we put out like a game or an animated series on YouTube, like without an audience, those things aren't going to do anything for us. And so this is a way that we can grow the audience. I think that's probably the number one priority in my mind right now, is growing the audience and brand awareness and people who even know what this is. And if we can do that, then these other projects will be, it'll be a lot more high probability that they are successful. Because right now we could do all these cool things, but nobody would know about it. It's like if a tree falls in the woods, does anybody, does it make a sound type of thing?
I'm a sound guy. Don't ask me that question.
Yeah, I think for the most part, I feel like we're on the right track as far as shifting directions and adapting to situations. Like, I mean, in January, like Seoul was pretty not at its peak, but it was a lot. It was pretty much doubled from where it's at right now. So I think the community, it's not a surprise. I think everybody that's in Seoul understands what's going on. They understand the market for the most part. We still have people holding rabbits, and we still have people that aren't that did and they don't know more. Um, the thing is with that, it's like that's fine too. You know, people jump ship because they don't see it, like see the future, and that's fine. But we have enough people in our community who are willing or just know the fact that how hard that we work at what we do and are waiting are just going to ride us out because that's what we're here for. We've been doing talks every Tuesday since the drop, and I think that right there just shows you the dedication that we have to this project and how much we want success. So I think with our us adapting to the the brand, making the brand more visible, working on the merch. If we have like a dope merch store, then so be it. If we don't have like the best game on Oculus or something. Actually, what I actually want to transition to what we saw from our community members about doing that little sandbox guy. I thought that was amazing. I don't know. I forget what member. I don't know if you guys remember what community member did the pixelated rabbit, but
CFTFX.
oh, dude, seeing stuff like that was like that was on him. That we didn't force that at all. We didn't mention that, but I thought that was amazing. So seeing things like that makes me feel happy that people believe in our project so much so that they don't care about like silly numbers like 24-hour volume or sales in the last week. Like they know us and they know how hard we're working to make this project success. So I think that's a good sign in my opinion.
And one quick comment on what we were just discussing right before about the slowdown in the NFT space. That was one of the reasons it was so important for me to get the coins going as quickly as possible, because although like you might have to hold for a while for us to do things properly and sustainably, the people that have rabbits right now are earning a coin every day. And as we build value into that coin, as we start to get profits going that back those coins, the people that have held the longest are going to have the most coins and they're going to end up with the most long-term value. So some projects, it's just about you're just waiting for your NFT to grow in value. And so people are super freaked out about floor prices and things like that. But with the rabbits, I think at one point the carrot coins are going to be more valuable than the NFT itself. Or at least that will make the NFT value go skyrocketing, because if you're earning, high and level of return on those things, like the price of the NFT will adjust for that. Because if you can, make $5 a day off of the profit getting fed back, then like you're not gonna be selling for $80.
Yeah,
So,
agree. I agree.
so even
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons like why the carrot coin situation was so important for us, and it baffles me that other projects aren't using tokenomics in that way, because that's how we're like keeping track of and rewarding the people that have to hold through these long periods of slower growth.
Well, it just goes to show like my point as far as like what we've been doing for this project has not been your typical NFT. Like we don't have like all of the blown up numbers or inflated numbers. Like we're doing things organically. I think the community sees that, and when we grow, I think it only makes them feel even better because if I'm in a project that I can visually see growing rather than it grew to or like I feel like I've jumped into projects or have bought into projects with that have already grown, and then they release a project or their NFT, and I buy into it, and I'm kind of just seeing where it goes and not really seeing the growth. It just almost is like, okay, so now what? But as far as like what we've been doing is like we have been growing as we since we started, and it's visually happening right in front of your eyes. You see the numbers in our Discord grow, or you see the numbers in our Twitter grow. You see the numbers in our Instagram grow. You see the interactions grow. It's not like you guys came into Twitter or Discord with 35,000 members in it. You are seeing the numbers grow, and that's just to show you like where you are with this project. You're like at ground zero, and you saw us sell out on midday, and you saw us sell out on pre-mint. Like that was really exciting, and we haven't let go of that idea of like where we can go now, like where we're going next. So I'm excited for it. I can't wait.
So let's see. Geno Crypto brought up a question or a random idea in the Discord. Bobby Rabbit's Gen 2. So, without giving away too much at this point, we came up with what we think is a really awesome way to do kind of a derivative. So just know, I don't want to speak to it too much because we're still kind of working out the details. But there is a derivative under, not under,
Construction.
but under construction on the way in the pipeline. So that is definitely something we've considered, and we think it would be an awesome way to kind of. This is more. I mean, this is a little bit of the utility, but mixed with really emphasizing the art as well, because Bobby does such a great job with drawing and what he puts together, that to just stop at 1,000 rabbits and not see what he can really come up with would be a great disservice. So we're going there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually, yeah. I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm excited about it because I learned so much from the OG drop. And as far as like the potential, as far as detail, a lot of things that I was so new to that I have now grown experience to. It's like, dude, it's gonna be pretty fun, and that's gonna be something that the ones that are gonna benefit from are gonna be the ones that are day one OG rabbit holders, and I feel bad for whoever sold out all of them already, to be honest. Because I think these are going to be so sick.
yeah. One quick thing I want to say about that before we bring up 24 karat is that part of our philosophy at one point in time was that we don't want to do a second drop too soon because it would take away from the first one and the people that invested in the original Bobby Rabbits. But we are working on a way to integrate it that it would actually benefit the original holders and reward them. We think that hype that could come from like a derivative, especially at a lower cost, or using carrots, or rewarding original holders with airdrops of the new one, things like that. We would only do it if it benefits the original collection. So that's one of the things that we are paying close attention to. But we did want to incorporate some like new designs, different like styles, things that have been requested. So that's definitely on the radar. But let me bring up 24 Karat Bunny Club. Hey, hey.
Hey, did you guys? Sorry, I think I lost you there for a second. How's it going, guys?
You're good.
Good, man.
Hey, I wasn't gonna go crazy. I heard you talking about a derivative and just thought it was really cool. Um, so that's also what I was wondering is who was the artist in the space, if it was an in-house artist, uh, or if it was somebody that you had to hire. But um, with our project, my wife is the artist, and when we decided not to mint like a month ago, we started working on our project more, and we are actually using community suggested traits. So we've done like some community polling to see what people would think would be cool on our bunnies. And with my wife as the artist, she's actually able to incorporate some of those ideas. So just as you're talking about a derivative, I thought I would mention that as a way to engage the community with that holder collection. So that's all.
Yeah, it's exactly what we did. Bobby is the artist. it's the Bobby Rabbits Club account on here right now, and we had like a baseline rabbit when we first got started, but then we really leaned into the community to make suggestions, and he was constantly adding new features over the course of like the month. That's a good way to do it. Build up hype, build your community, focus on them, let them participate in the development of the collection. And because, as I'm sure you know and your wife knows, you can add layers really and just continue to drop them into the code to like formulate new versions. And I'll let Bobby speak to it more, but that's essentially how we did the original rabbits. And then the derivative would, again, I don't want to say too much, but the derivative would be more a totally, redone character, to incorporate, you know, other variations. The OG rabbits are all kind of the same body style with the exception of like twisty ears, but all facing forward, things like that. Versus, we could explore, female rabbits, younger rabbits, side profiles, things like that. But as far as like layers go and developing as you build your community, that's exactly what we did. I think it's a really good way to do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Obviously I haven't followed you guys long enough to know your history, but I'm trying to catch up. But that's a great idea, and like I said, it wasn't our original collection when we went to go mint it. Was, I don't know, like when I minted it, I was unhappy with it, and I was like, man, if we get other people doing these, minting these, they're going to be unhappy. So then we came up with the idea to get the community involved, and ever since then, to your point, the characters and the art and what my wife is able to create now with these wild ideas, it makes it a lot more fun when you go to mint it, because it's like, one, the community was a part of it, but two, it's like the art has improved that much just because of, when you're drawing, and I'm sure Bobby Rabbit, you can, or the co-host guy, the artist, you can relate. You almost get stuck running out of ideas, but then when the community gets involved and starts throwing out crazy ideas, you're just like, I could see that working, or those layers would look pretty wild together.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, actually, I'm glad that your wife did the rabbit because there's not a lot of rabbits, and I like yours. They're dope. Especially with the front facing. There's not a lot like that. Which it's people will notice right off the bat, but doing the front profile is a lot harder to add characteristics and attributes to than it is to do the side profile. Like I've learned that also, and yeah, you're right. You do run out of ideas, and I think what ends up happening is where you run out of ideas is where you have as your base, like because you can have, like you said, people can come up with wild ideas and they sound fun and cool, but then when you go to place them, it doesn't work. And I think that's why a lot of projects do the side profile. I mean, because I think you have more options that you go work with. Things seem to fit a little bit better. So you kind of have to play with that. And if you're doing the front facing profile, you're taking a huge chance because there's not a lot of projects that have that. And at the time, I didn't really think that way. I was so brand new to even using Procreate and using digital artwork. This isn't really this is my base. Like I always say, like this is my first project I've ever done digitally. And yeah, like I think what it is where you get stuck is just where you started, because that made a huge difference for me when I started to play with the idea of derivatives and what direction we were gonna possibly go for Generation Two, as they were calling it. Like I found it so much easier when I made some certain tweaks that I was like, wow, like no wonder why a lot of these projects happen to be very, very boxy. I guess you can say like it's a box. Like you just have a different face on it, but it's basically a box, and you can just add different stuff to it. Um, but yeah, I think it's cool to have the community jump in there too. What I did with mine was really kind of just take a simple idea. Some of my ideas came from movies. Some of them came from TV shows that I was watching, my favorite stuff. Some of the attributes came from certain artists that I like. Like you could also make it your personal touch too. Like she doesn't have to be too afraid to kind of like push the envelope with what she wants to make it personal, and then kind of add in the additional attributes from the community. But that does make it fun, though. We had a lot of pretty cool suggestions that are in our rabbits, or on our rabbits.
And from a strategy standpoint, it was probably a really good move to postpone your mint until you're really confident about it, because what you don't want to do is get stuck mid mint and have like, a bunch to go before it's sold out, because that's a really tricky situation, especially with Solana NFTs. You really got to have the whole collection sold out before you can get it onto secondary sales. And one of the things that we did was we started polling people to get an idea of how many rabbits people were planning on getting. And we were able to get a rough idea of how many we were going to sell. So I would definitely like take that into account. And like you said, with like more traits, by the time we were ready to drop it, we had so many traits. We were like pumped to show people all the new ones. Like I remember when we first started releasing like some of the crazier traits, and it got everybody really excited, because at first it was very generic, but like when you start adding like crazy stuff, like gold teeth and twisty ears and tie-dye colored skin and stuff like that, like when you start to first show that stuff to people, they get pretty excited.
Yeah, no, I agree. You're right on, and that is the tricky thing with Solana. And honestly, anyone who comes to our Discord, they're all from ETH, they're all from Ethereum, and they're like, "What do you do? How do you get started with Solana?" And then if you do give them an NFT, you gotta be like, "Well, you can't do anything with it yet because you got to sell the collection out." So there is a bit of a curve there, but I think the collection count is a great thought. We started out at way more than 555, but we brought it down knowing that we want to sell it out. We have to.
Did we lose him?
I wasn't sure if it was me or not.
I think we might have lost him.
Yeah, we'll see if he pops back on. But I mean, we kind of had a similar philosophy. It was really important to get an idea of like the demand, and that's kind of another thing that we have to think about with the with any new derivative that we release is, how will it impact the demand and like the money that we have for people to use. So I think that'll be important. Oh, looks like you're back. Oh, lost him.
Yeah. I was thinking too, since we're on the subject of derivatives, and like, how we had said we didn't want to do a derivative too soon because we didn't want it to lose potential value in the original ones. Um, I can see that point, but what I was thinking too is in terms of branding, right? Because Bobby Rabbits is essentially a brand, and everything that's being bought Bobby Rabbits is gonna be going to the same people, like going to the same wallet, the same name. And I think what we have done for the first 1,000 that are out there is almost, we've pretty much are on our way to have enough hype to create hype for the generation 2 drop, and make the value of both generations equally the same, because it's all representing the same brand. I don't know if that makes any sense, or if that's even possible, but I just think that because it's Bobby Rabbits all the way through, it's not like it's not going to make sense. Like I feel like it's the same, coming from the same world, and it should kind of help work for everybody. If if that makes any sense, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that like if you do it properly, like a derivative would actually benefit the original collection, because it feels more hype. A lot of people like to mint new stuff, and so it'll bring in like new people. And if we tie it to the original rabbits properly, revenue from the new collection can also benefit the carrot coin and just add to the ecosystem. It is part of the original collection in a way.
Yeah, because like I don't want to make it seem like the first generation loses value is what I mean. Like I want the first generation to be even like to hold its value as much as any new project, whether people like it more or they don't, whatever. Like I just wanted to be able to make it known that it's all to me. I would hope if there's a way of just like kind of all tying it together. And for example, if we were to do the cartoon in the future or the video game, we have other characters in place. So it's not just one character, it's like almost like a world of these rabbits. There's not going to be 10 different NFT drops, but I think it would be kind of cool to have a friend of a rabbit coming from the rabbits themselves.
Do we have 24 Karat back up here now?
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know if that was me or what happened. So I figured I'd just jump out and come back in.
Sure.
Was there a question there at the end of that? I'm sorry.
Not really. I didn't know if you were finished. You were kind of in the middle of speaking when you dropped out. So I don't know if you had.
Yeah, no, I guess what I was trying to relate to what you were saying was Solana. Most of the people that come to our Discord, they're all from Ethereum. So, when you start talking about Solana, they're like, what's that? And what do you do? And it's like, well, it's pretty much the same. You just got to get a wallet. But we actually reduced our numbers as well with the idea that we have to sell out in order to get listed. So, but I really like your idea, based on your community, you can work to see how many you think you'll actually mint so that you can more or less guarantee it and make sure that you can get the value to the community. So that's all I was saying.
Yeah, it's helpful to be able to forecast like that. And I think with Solana, a trickier part is it takes a lot of educating of your own community just because it is so new. And the features of Solana are not all the way built yet just because it is so new. I think that as features are added to stores like Magic Eden and they make adjustments, like it will become much more robust and easier for people to use. But for now, like we spent a lot of time making sure people knew how to put Solana in their wallets and use them to mint and tried to be as educational as humanly possible. And I think that's probably why a lot of Solana projects are a lot more collaborative than the Ethereum ones. So like definitely we have like a place in our Discord where you can like, share your project and we can kind of all, look at each other's projects and combine communities. That's what we've done with other projects. And I think it's been really helpful. Um, it's been good for both communities. It's a mutually beneficial way of networking.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And we actually started doing just like $10, $15 Solana giveaways on our Discord. And one, just for something for the community to get into, but two, as a means to help people figure out how to get a wallet and what type of wallets to use. And, the first one we put up, I think that same day we had people reaching out like, all right, what kind of wallet? And, we go over Soulflare and Phantom and, it's just like Ethereum. It's just some different steps, different products, or people you got to talk to. So, but that's worked out really well, and we've probably helped at least a dozen people, get wallets together, and then from there, they take the money from the giveaway, and they're like, "All right, I can buy another bunny with this," So it all kind of works out in the end.
For
Absolutely.
sure. And I mean, we can definitely share from like our YouTube. We've put together some videos about like how to use different aspects of Solana technology and things like that. I mean, one other last suggestion I'll make is like if you do give out free NFTs or like give them away at a lower cost, like some of those people will dump them for like below mint price because it's free money to them. So I think if you set that expectation with your community, our floor dropped. People were selling them for like 0.4 at one point, and then we shot almost all the way up to 2, and now we're back down a little just because of the market. But if you set the right expectations with your community, I think they're going to understand when those things happen because it makes sense why it happens. It's just mechanics.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I love what you guys are talking about and doing. I mean, my wife and I have had very similar conversations. We have a few other components that we're trying to work with since we have a bunny and we have some, we've talked about bunny therapy and a few other things. But yeah, definitely bringing value to the community and establishing them so that when we do mint, there's value there. We love what you guys are doing with the carrot token. We've actually thought about doing that as like a boba token, like a bubble tea with the bobas, which if you know about rabbits, you know what those would relate to. So, but yeah, it's all a good idea.
Yeah, it's awesome. Feel free to, lean on us. You can always slide in our DMs and ask questions at any point in time. And, we've been pretty helpful. We're always glad to help other projects.
Awesome, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions, comments, concerns, anything else they want to talk about?
Well, I did see a question or 7 questions from Sovereign, but I don't know if he or she is here anymore. I don't see them in the chat. So we could cover those, or we can you just do that in the Discord. They're all kind of, sorry, I'm trying to look at some things. They're based around tokenomics, and we could discuss, I guess we can discuss a little bit of that. I guess we'll let Bobby back up here. So the first question he had for us was, how did you determine a good fixed supply of tokens that would hold value? That one was pretty simple. The idea was that the generation period of the tokens would be 10 years, each rabbit generating 1 carrot per day, which led to a total of 3,650,000. And one of the other questions was, how do you prevent increase of token supply? Very simple. I turned off the mint. I can no longer even access it. So the mint is fixed at that supply. There will be no more carrots minted ever.
Yeah, one way we minted them all. We minted them all immediately. So you're not like constantly minting them. Like every day, there's not new carrots being minted. Like we hold them in a particular wallet where all the carrots that ever will exist are already there. And right now, we've been just airdropping them to people because it was the easiest, cheapest way, fastest way to get them out there. But Tyler is working on staking, which will automate the process, but they will just be sent from that wallet. They already all exist, and we won't ever make any more.
Yep. One of the other things that we've discussed about that is making the token deflationary by introducing some burning mechanisms to it. For example, if somebody were to utilize our offer to cash out their carrot for Solana at this point, we would burn those tokens. They would not go back into the pool, which would then maintain the actual Solana value that we've pegged so far. We've also talked about using the burning mechanism for future mints, for example, and this speaks a little bit to the derivatives. We're going to try and make the carrot coin as useful as possible in the derivative minting process. And part of what that would gain would be a burning mechanism after the fact for those carrot coin, which then only strengthens the valuation of that carrot coin. I'm trying to read the questions here. That was one of the questions, was how do you implement utility to combat selling pressure of the token? One of those ways is the burning mechanism for purchases, be that merch or the derivatives we plan to release, or even, if people cash it out. It's not going to work like a typical token that you've seen come out recently, where they provide a liquidity pool, basically creating a pair for an automated market maker to create a pair between their token and Sol to give it then a price where it swings due to market conditions. Ours swing purely by right now the way we've calculated the valuation on it is just based on the total airdropped to and that with that wallet amount backing that amount. So the only thing that drives the price down would be the staking without any future revenues. If future revenues continue, which they will and should increase, the Carrot coin will shoot in value. So it's not a buying pressure that we're putting on the token the same way some of these other tokens that are being released are, because the second you create a market for it, where people, because once you create a market, people can also buy it, and then you're reliant on market conditions driving price more so than these other factors.
Yeah, essentially what's happening is there's a 2.5% royalty on all NFT sales that goes into a specific account, and then that is the total value of all the Carrot coins. When we start bringing in profits from things like merch, we're going to send profits to that account as well to kind of like build that account up. And so like what we do is like once a week or so, we calculate the value of each coin just by dividing that amount that's in that account by however many coins are out there. So like even if every single person redeemed all their coins at once, we would have enough money to send all the SOL. So like, yeah, we introduced that request form on the website where people can swap their Carrot out for Solana right now. We haven't gotten too many requests because it's not a whole lot of Solana that gets sent out at this point, but in the future, like as we pick up steam and volume and have other profits filling that account, it will become worth more. So if anybody does it right now, it's kind of manual. I would just reach out to them via email or on Discord and have them send their Carrot to the wallet with all the Solana in it from those royalties, and then I would, once it's received, I would just send the right amount of Solana back to them.
And the last question was, how does the Carrot not meet the criteria of the Howey test? Without going into too much without going into too much detail about what the Howey test is, it's a gray area in crypto at this point. Tons of people are using their token as purely the royalty. Because we're offering ours as a utility, we're framing it as a similarly to like a Best Buy rewards points. And that's how we're going to handle it for now. We're in a changing environment at all times, and we will at some point see some regulation come down on the crypto markets, past the point they already have, and at that point we adapt. So that, I mean, there's not really much else to say on that at this point.
Yeah, basically what that is talking about is if what we're doing is considered an investment, like a stock or something like that, then we have to go by like SEC rules, and there's regulations and things like that. In order to qualify as being labeled as that, it has to be money that you give someone and expect profits back from the work of other people, not yourself. And also because everybody is cooperating in this situation, you're not expecting us to do all this work and pay you back profits. Everybody is, kind of sharing in the work. So it's if anything, more like an investment club because we're all making decisions on it. But right now, we're too small of a project to really raise any issues, and I can't foresee it becoming an issue. And so, like as Tyler said, we would adapt if that comes up.
Cool beans. That was all the questions on the tokenomics. I think we covered most of them with the same. They kind of fall under one answer for a lot of them. Basically, generation and fixed supply with deflationary mechanics in place. Does anybody else have any questions, would like to come up and yell at us or ask a question or tell me how awesome I am?
I know who could tell you how awesome you are, but I don't know. Should we put them on blast or?
He's requested.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right, KG, we're bringing you up. All right, KG, the floor is yours.
Hello.
Hey. I did not catch that.
Nice.
Oh,
Well,
Um,
he's gone.
what I was telling you was about the other project. I think that I was referring to that needed to tell you how awesome you were, but I don't
Oh,
want I don't want to put them on
no,
blast. But
yeah.
I just want to say I feel very lucky to have Tyler on our team. Um, I know we say this all the time, but me and Brian struck gold with this guy. Tyler is like, I mean, geez, like this guy, he knows what's up. That's all I gotta say. Like, it's pretty crazy, and I don't think people. I think, there's other projects out there, whether it's like an ego thing or whatnot. Um, and I don't think we'll ever get there. I don't think we'll ever have that. I feel like our personalities are pretty mellow, pretty chill, and pretty open to everybody and suggestions. Like we're literally asking what you guys want us to do, and we're gonna do it. But certain projects, man, I don't know. When you get to a certain level, I guess they just think they know it all. Apparently.
Yeah, there's some ego involved with success, and I think it's hard to stay humble when you have 12,000 people in your Discord talking about how great your project is. But yeah, I don't want to put anybody on blast, but just know that we're here to work hard for this project, and we are not so egotistical that your suggestions will be shot down just because we didn't think of them. There have been countless times I've been wrong about ideas, and the community was like, no, this is the way it should happen. And that's fine by me.
Yeah, same. I mean, um, that's why I always think like whatever you guys want to say anything, we're literally listening. Like some of these ideas that we have were happening because of you guys. So yeah, it's fun. I mean, I think that's the best part. Otherwise, what are we doing? When we talk about community, what are we doing? When we talk
Right.
about having a brand, like what are we doing here? So I think I hope that we could continue to do that.
One more thing, I think, before we wrap up, and I'll let Brian do the wrap up. He's a better summarizer than I am. I did want to mention again, some of you weren't here yet, but we do have the March Madness contest going. The play-in games are happening today and tomorrow, I believe, and then the first round starts on the 17th. So by the morning, I believe I set a deadline of 10 a.m. on the 17th. Have your picks into that channel for a chance to win. And actually, the price or the reward just went up thanks to Chip. So I think we'll probably distribute most of that to first place, and then maybe the rest we'll distribute amongst the other second, third, fourth, and fifth place. But the prize is now going to be probably more in the 0.75 range for first place. So definitely submit. It doesn't cost anything to submit, and you could win. We just wanted to do something fun. If you have any questions about how to submit, see the channel. I posted a few examples. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. Well, just to wrap it up, I'm going to put a few things to a vote in the holder channel. One of them would be, as Chip mentioned, he wanted to donate some Solana to increase the pot for the March Madness thing, and I offered we have a few rabbits left over in the treasury, so maybe we can give some folks a rabbit for 0.5 Sol to donate to the March Madness thing and run it through Magic Eden to help out with the volume and add a little more to the royalty pots. So I'll put that to a vote. Also, putting to a vote the sticker situation, how much we would be willing to spend on that and how we want to do it, to get some stickers out to you guys to put up around town. And finally, the little stuffed animal rabbit that Bobby was talking about making, how we want to do that and fund that, because we have project money right now that we could use to start building some of these things. But If anybody has any questions or concerns other than that, definitely let us know in the Discord, and we'll meet everybody there. Oh, and one last thing. I did say I was going to give away an NFT and a painting that goes along with it. I threw in a random number generator, and it came out with HP Marauder. So I'll make sure that I get with her and send that painting over in the NFT. But we'll continue to do some cool giveaways in the future.